Great. Are we live? Okay, hi everyone. My name's Amra. I look after Project Inspire, the team leader for Project Inspire. Thank you very much for joining our Hangouts today. So this Hangout will be broadcast live on YouTube as well, and it will also be uploaded to YouTube after we're done. So basically what we're going to do today is just go through the basics of Project Inspire. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Project Inspire as well as the changes to our guidance we've just had. We'll also be taking questions throughout the session and, of course, after the session too. So you can tweet your questions to us using hashtag projinspire, as well as tweeting directly to us, which is at proj_inspire. We'll also be taking questions via Facebook, and you can submit your questions to us live using your Google Hangout. So basically, Project Inspire is a social impact competition. It's open to 18 to 35-year-olds and was launched in 2011 by PAD and Support Committee for UN. So basically provides people a platform to pitch their idea to change the world for women or girls or girls in either Asia Pacific, Middle East, or Africa. The grand prize is $25,000 US, and the 10 finalists will be flown to Singapore for a boot camp training by Bain & Company and INSEAD, and they will also get their chance to pitch for the $25,000. This year's grand final is going to be held on the 30th of August, right at the end of August, and it's going to be live streamed around the world, so you can let everybody know about that too. As part of Project Inspire, the 10 finalists will also be paired with a mentor who's chosen based on their area of expertise and the industry that they're in. So each mentor is specifically chosen to match the finalists and what skills or requirements that they're currently looking for. So in previous years, there have been additional grants that have also gone out, which is very exciting. Now in its 4th year, we've got over 72,000 followers on Facebook and Twitter, so social media. And since 2011, we've had over $175,000 go out in funding directly to our finalists. So that's very exciting as well. So in terms of the changes to the entry guidelines, there have been some slight changes to the application form. The video component of the entry is now not compulsory, and that's because we've been listening to a lot of feedback from our potential applicants who have said that, you know, it's quite difficult in some remote areas to upload a video. So that part is definitely not compulsory anymore. Another change is that previously you have to work for an existing social enterprise or non-profit. We have now opened up the competition to any existing organization. So you could be a small business, medium business, corporate, as long as you're part of an existing organization. This year, our applications close on the 30th of June, Singapore time, midnight. So that's about 13 days away. So you've still got time to fill out your application. So if there are any specific questions, please feel free to start tweeting them or asking them in the Hangout question and answer section. Otherwise, we'll go through some of the frequently asked questions, which you can also find on our website in the blog post section. So a couple of questions that we've had that have frequently come in are, so how do you, does everybody in the team need to be in the 18 to 35 age group? And no, that is not the case. Only the your representative of your team who will fly to Singapore if you're chosen as a finalist needs to be between 18 and 35. And the person who's going to be representing you at the grand finals. So English, a lot of people have said that English isn't their first language, and that if we can accept submissions in other languages. So at this stage, we don't have the capacity to accept submissions in other languages other than English. However, we will be working with some volunteers to provide some extra support for you if you're required to fill out your application form in English. Another frequently asked question is whether you have to include a video in your application. No, you don't have to include a video because we've just removed that component. However, having a video would be great for us to be able to see exactly what you're doing. Do you need to put in or submit any supporting documents with your application? The only supporting document that you are required to submit to us is your budget, what you're going to be doing with the $25,000. All other supporting documents such as financial statements, annual reports, news clippings, things like that are all great to have as well, and give us here a better idea of what your organization is all about and how you've been doing. So it definitely gives us a better picture of who you are. So, but it's definitely up to you, and you won't be judged any less favorably if you don't include the extra information. Another frequently asked question is whether every member of the team need to submit an individual application form. No. Only one application form per team needs to be submitted, and that can be done by the team leader. If there's another frequently asked question is what to do if you get stuck on a question or if you need any extra support. The best thing to do is contact us. All the information is on the website. You can email us at contact@minutestoChangeTheWorld.org, and we can respond to you ASAP. The other question is, when is the deadline for filling your application? The deadline is midnight Singapore time, which is GMT +8, on the 30th of June 2014. Send to us using tag projinspire or tweet to Project Inspire, which is proj_inspire. Us on Facebook, and any other questions, free to add them to our question and answer list on the Hangout. So we have one question from a viewer here asking where I'm from, and I'm living in Singapore right now, so I guess that's enough information for that. Another question we have here is, how detailed does the budget and the grant proposal have to be? So we have a template of the budget which is on our site. We basically want to know exactly what you're going to be doing with the $25,000. So as much detail as you can give us would be great. The grant proposal, how detailed does that need to be? So there's an application form. As long as you fill out the application form on the on the website, you'll be giving us enough information to help us judge your project. So I hope that answers your question, Elizabeth. If there are any other questions, please feel free to let us know. We'll be here for another couple of minutes. And if there additionally, if you want to submit a video, you can see our blog posts, which are on the website. There are 2 blog posts on there about how to make your video entry stand out and what to include in your video entry. Basically, the most important thing to remember is that we're not going to be judging your video entry on the quality of the film. We basically will be judging it based on the content. So it's basically a pitch for you to tell us exactly what you're going to be doing, what your project is all about, what you're going to be doing with the grant money, how many people you'll be impacting, and how you're going to be measuring your success, and why your project is so important, or what problem you're solving. So that's basically what we're looking for in the video, if you decide to go with the video. So we have another question here. Can you tell us what exactly is classified as an existing initiative? So we are looking for, it's basically an existing organization. So we're open to social enterprises, small businesses, medium businesses, non-profits, corporate organizations, anything that is currently in existence. And that's also mainly because it's very difficult for us to monitor individuals with just an idea. So it's if you can submit your proposal as part of an organization, that gives us a little bit more more to work with you. Do we have any other questions out there? Just a reminder that we're also on Twitter and Facebook. Twitter under #PROTSAHAN. We'll also be doing 2 more Hangouts later this evening in about half an hour. So if you'd like to join that to see any other questions, then please let us know. Okay, so if there are no other questions, just give a couple more minutes, see if there's anyone that wants to ask any other questions. Basically, there's 13 days left to go with your submission. If you need any help, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to get in contact with us. You can contact us on social media as well as email. I'll just also give you a summary about what happened last year in terms of our finalists. So we had 10 finalists last year and $45,000 in grants that went out. So 10 of the finalists, so they came from all over the world. Our grand prize winner was PROTSAHAN, which came from India, and they'll be actually joining us for our hangout later this evening. I think it's our 3rd hangout that they'll be joining us for, so you can tune into that as well if you've got any specific questions from them. Basically, so then we also had another prize that went out to DK, and that was from Uganda. And theirs was a beekeeping project, so they got a $10,000 grant for that. We also had another winner, which was the Global Press Institute, and they got a $10,000 grant for the work that they're doing. So very varied projects and proposals, and impact is very different in all of them. The main thing to remember with Project Inspire is that we're focused on the beneficiaries. So if you can detail exactly how you'll be impacting the beneficiaries, that would really help your application. If you can also be specific about the number of beneficiaries that you'll be impacting directly and indirectly, if you know those numbers as well as how you're going to be measuring your success or your results. And there's extra information in there as well. It also helps to put in something about any challenges that you foresee as part of your project. I know it seems counterintuitive, but we like to see projects that have thought about any potential challenges that they're going to be coming up with. And by all means, I mean, we're here to help, generally with what we're doing. So if you're needing any help with your submission, or any suggestions about how to, you know, answer a specific question in your application, just feel free to let us know. So we've got a few more people who've joined the Hangout. If any of you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the question and answer app, which should be on your right-hand side, I think. We're also answering questions from Twitter using hashtag projinspire, or you can tweet us using the Twitter handle @projinspire. So question here from Elizabeth has just been bumped up the list again, asking how detailed the budget and the grant proposal have to be. So the budget, there's a sample budget form on the website, so you can have a look at that. We basically want to know a breakdown of how you're planning on spending the $25,000 if you're a winner, and what everything's going towards. The more detail you have in there, the better. But you'll notice that the budget sheet on the website is quite a simple one. The grant proposal, we're just asking you to fill out the application form, which is on the website. So all the questions on there are what we're looking for. I would suggest being quite detailed in your results statement. So saying, for example, you plan on impacting X amount of women and girls over X amount of time, and this is how you're going to do it. I would also be very detailed in the measurement section about how you're going to be measuring success. And like I said before as well, it would be great as well if you can foresee any challenges that you may have and you want to highlight them to us, because that's part of what we do as well. Apart from looking for our finalists, we try and make sure that we can pair you up with mentors who are specifically able to help you with some of your challenges. So just because you put your challenges up there doesn't mean that we're going to be discounting you. It just means that you've been thinking of some things ahead of time, which is great. If anyone has any other questions, just please feel free to bump them up on this question and answer panel. We'll also check Twitter and Facebook for questions, so no questions yet, but we'll also have Sonal, who is the founder of PROTSAHAN, who will be joining for our Hangout, our third Hangout, which starts at 7:45 Singapore time, and she's going to be talking about she found the application process and the whole Project Inspire. So if you have any specifics from a past winner, then please feel free to join us during that Hangout. Great. So are there any other questions or anything around here? Let me just check our Project Inspire team and see if we've got any questions. One more on there. Why is there an age restriction? Okay. And what else can we do if we happen to be outside this age? So the age restriction is because we are a youth competition. So the age is 18 to 35. If you happen to fall out of this age, don't worry. You can still submit your application. When it comes to grand final time and your team, well, a representative from your team needs to be flown to Singapore for the grand finals, that person needs to be between the age. So a lot of people submit applications on behalf of an organization and send a representative who is between the age of 18 to 35 to pitch on behalf of their organization. So I hope that answers that question. If there are any other questions, please feel free to let us know. We're on Twitter and we're also on Facebook. Okay, so if that's all the questions and everything that we've got for today, if there's anything else that you want to talk to us about, please feel free to get in contact. We're happy to work with you on your submission. And if there's any concerns, please also feel free to let us know. Let me just double check if there are any other questions. Awesome. Okay, great. Well, thank you very much for joining the Hangout today. We have another 2 Hangouts scheduled for tonight, so if you feel like you suddenly get some inspiration and have another question come up, feel free to join that or let us know via social media. And the question about where I'm from just bumped up again. Okay. I'm in Singapore at the moment, born in and that answers that question. Okay, thank you very much for joining us today. Feel free to tweet us, Facebook us, email us, and get in contact. Have a good night, and good luck with your application.